thoughts on what's happening in America right now with all like the shootings and what have you?
There's so much I can say on that.
Please do. I got time.
This is my view on it. Is there's shit. It's such a hard. It's such a hard thing to talk about because it's like emotional and it's like there's just so much conflict with your opinion because sometimes it's like you want to say shit and you say it and people that you wouldn't expect to take kind of like
offense to it, almost
like offense, but also have like shock. You know what I'm saying? It's like why are you shocked?
Yeah.
Why are you shocked? Am I saying something wrong or is something wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? But
yeah.
Bottom line is, the government is there's obviously an elite. You can call this shit conspiracy or whatever you want. There's an elite group of people, the governments and corporations, and they are at a level that is much higher than majority of the population, and that's because of funding and corruption and whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
So yes, everything is systematic. Racism is systematically placed. Cops are killing black people to have a systematic war brewed up between the civilians in America and out of America as well. That's all that shit's systematic. These cops are killing these black guys because they were put there to do that. These cops, they were hired. There's no way you don't know a cop is that crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, a cop that can knee somebody on the floor and then shoot him and lie about what the guy was doing and wasn't even moving. Like, what's dude's name again?
Alton Sterling?
Alton Sterling, yes. Can't believe I forgot his name.
Well, unfortunately, there's been so many names.
There's been so many damn names, you know what I'm saying? And so much shit that happened that 1 week with him in Iraq and Turkey and Lebanon
and even
Pakistan,
in France last night.
Last night. Now I got a phone call saying Turkey's in a martial law state right now.
Oh,
I need to look up on that shit because that shit's crazy. But with Alton Sterling, like both hands were kneed down.
Yeah.
The head and both hands were held. Like, what were we saying? The cop shot him and he's like, get on the ground. Like, he's already on the ground, bro.
Yeah, you pinned him to the ground.
He was on the ground before you fucking shot him, and then he was on the ground after you fucking shot him. Like, you're saying get on the ground, but the guy's on the ground already before you pulled the fucking gun out. So, yes, it's systematic. It's systematic. Like, these guys know these cops are got trigger fingers. They got trigger fingers for anything that isn't white. And unfortunately, that's just the truth. Do we feed into it and let it divide us? No, but it's negative. So it's scary out here, man. I mean, it's not happening in Canada, so we don't have much to worry about, but racism spreads. When racists see other races doing this shit and getting away with it, they start feeling empowered to do the same shit. Like, yo, why can't we do that?
Absolutely.
Why can't I kill a black guy and get away with it? Why can't I fucking tell a Muslim that they need to get the fuck out of Canada and go back to where they came from and get away with it? Well, that's the type of example they're setting. America's crazy right now.
It is.
To get this shit going.
And not even just America, but like if you take a look at it, North America as a whole was built on the foundation of racism. Like you had the settlers.
White people were born here. Like, no, don't get twisted.
You had the settlers come in. The natives are already here. They infected their blankets with smallpox and defeated them with technology that was more advanced than the ones that they had. And then from there on, it just continued.
Destroyed knowledge, destroyed proof of fucking existence way before anything from Africa and the Middle East.
Absolutely,
They destroyed that shit.
Even in the deep south, during the slavery era, if you were a slave and you knew how to read, they would kill you on sight because they were afraid that they would pass that knowledge on to the other slaves. Absolutely, and they knew that, and they were scared of that. Now, this is not a rant on like white people in general, ladies and gentlemen. I don't want you to get that twisted. But we have to keep in mind that racism is not non-existent. It exists very well. It has many different shapes and forms, and it will still continue to evolve after centuries upon centuries upon centuries. Chris Rock said it best: racism will never die; it will only multiply. And I think we have to keep that in mind. Just because we have a black president in America, that does not mean that racism is dead. If anything, people have shown their more racist colors. Like, we have never had a president in the history of the United States who has had to be called upon to show his birth certificate. That's ridiculous. You address him as President Obama. You don't address him as Barack Obama. He earned that title.
Damn straight.
Absolutely.